I gathered up 10 things around my house that I use on the daily that help make my life a lot easier and take away those little annoyances. Let's get into it. I have the hardest time keeping my car clean, no matter what. And I know this is because I have a child, but no matter what, it is a mess. I go get it cleaned, it is a mess. But a bigger issue than that is when I lose stuff between that black hole void, that's the space between the chair and the center console. If you look at older cars, it was just like a whole bench seat, and we didn't have this problem, but we do now, and I found a solution. This is actually from Shark Tank. It's just this little blob, basically, this little foamy blob that you shove in between that black hole void, and it stops that problem from ever happening. And this actually is a 2-pack, so your passenger seat also gets one, so everybody's safe. I have to say, out of everything that we're talking about today, this next product is the one that surprised me the most. I originally got this because we were going on a trip to Paris. I wanted to have all of my skincare and hair care essentials labeled so I knew exactly what everything was, since I was bringing everything in
teeny tiny little containers.
I found this label printer. I'd had label printers in the past, didn't love the interface, felt it was really bulky, never used them, blah, blah, blah. This I have used on so many unexpected things. The latest thing I've been using it for is actually for plugs. My house has so many lost, abandoned plugs because every time that we've moved or organized, all of those random abandoned plugs just go into the lost plug container. This ends up becoming overwhelming, and then when we come into a problem like I had yesterday, when I needed to charge one of my wireless filming lights, I couldn't find a plug that worked. I went through probably 10 plugs that looked pretty much the same. Luckily, the carrying case that the lights go in had an extra one since it was a 2-pack, and I immediately opened my label maker and I made a label that said that this was the light bar plug. If I ever put it somewhere where it's not meant to be, I know exactly what it is. So of all the things here, this is definitely the one that I keep finding cool uses for, and it's so inexpensive. I cannot, this is a no negotiation. You need this one. I live in a no-fly zone. Not really, I actually live relatively close to an airport. My house is a no-fly zone, and a big part of that is because of this next product. We will have no bugs, no issues, and then right around March, April, May, it just becomes a lot. We have some solutions for this outside, but inside I wanted something that was not obnoxious and ugly and huge. These little plug-in fly traps have been incredible. All it is a little black light that plugs into your outlet, and then you put a sticky little trap on it, and then you forget about it. And then you come back in a week or so and you look and you see so many disgusting flying bugs. It's honestly shocking how well this works for being so simple. Each one covers about 400 square feet, so I would recommend if you have a bigger house or you have multiple rooms, get a couple of them. You can also get the third-party refillable sticker traps. That's what I did. They're so much cheaper. Truly, absolutely incredible game changer. Fruit flies, regular flies, mosquitoes, not in this house. I love the design of my house, but the master bathroom is lacking. I'll just say that. I don't have a medicine cabinet. I don't have any drawers. I just have a huge linen closet that has built-in shelves, but they are about 1.5 feet wide. When it comes to storing things like skincare, there ends up being a ton of wasted space, and I really needed a solution because I have a lot of skincare and I have a lot of hair care. These clear organizers have ended up being such a huge help for this problem. They're almost the exact height of my built-in shelves, which means that I don't feel like I'm wasting space. They have 2 pull-out drawers, and each drawer has dividers that you can take out or leave in. And I've been using them for both skincare, hair care, and then most importantly, medicine organization. This has been a really helpful way to be able to see exactly what we have, separate things that are for my daughter, separate things that are for adults, and keep it all looking really nice and easy to find everything. And you can even bump it up if you use the label maker to put what goes where. I only have 4 of these right now, but based off of how well they fit my space, I'm probably gonna end up buying more of them. It really does make things a lot easier, especially when it's smaller things like medicine, like skincare. So we have a Lovesac couch. It's basically like a gigantic bed. It's incredibly hard to get out of because it's super comfortable and also because it is probably about 6 feet deep. One of the things that Lovesac also has are cup holders that are customized specifically for their couches, and they can either go on the sides or the back of the couch. The problem is Each of those cup holders is like 50 bucks. And when you have a gigantic couch like we do, you need a lot of cup holders. When I found these cup holders, it was like, I was so happy I found them. They're super adjustable because of the way that the sides are, so they can fit a variety of different types of couch arms. They're anti-slip because they are silicone, so they're gonna stay put. And they have a cup holder as well as a little tray area that ends up working out really well for snacks. And then the best part, because it is silicone, you can just easily wash it, dry it, it's not going to ruin it. That's not something I can do with the Lovesac ones. You ever have that issue where you're burning a candle and there's just a giant ring of wax that isn't melting? Candle's just going down and it feels like you're wasting your money. You need a candle warmer. A candle warmer is basically just a really hot lamp that's pointing directly at your candle. It's going to release the fragrance and it's going to make your candle last so much longer. This is even better if you pair it with the next item. My goal when we moved into this house was to make it as smart as possible. I want to be lazy. I don't want to have to get up to turn the lights on. I don't want to worry about if I forgot to close the garage or lock the door when I'm in my car 20 miles away. I don't want to have to worry about if I left my candle burning on the kitchen table. There are so many products that we have that I can get into in different videos, but one that you absolutely need are smart plugs. Now, I'm sure a lot of you use smart plugs for the obvious things like your Christmas tree or Christmas lights. I know they get a lot of use during the holiday time of year, but start using them for things that maybe you don't think of, like your candle warmer. I have mine set up so that I can just tell my Echo to turn on candle warmer and it'll turn it on. I also can set it up so that it's on a timer or it's on a schedule. That way I don't even have to think about it. The amount of things that we use smart plugs for is ridiculous. I have them hooked up to this camera so that it will turn on and off when I click a button on my computer. I have them for my filming lights, my entire background. I use it for so many things so that it's one press of a button or saying one thing to my Echo and everything turns on or off. We live in a day and age where innovation and smart products, AI, robots are starting to do so much for us. Robot vacuums and mops have come so far and they're amazing, but sometimes we still need to do stuff ourselves. But there are products that make those things easier, like this broom. Now listen, if you had told 23-year-old me that I would be talking about a broom that I'm obsessed with on Amazon, I don't think I would talk to you again, but here we are. This broom has been for sure a life-changing product for me for probably 4 or 5 years now. Nobody sells this type of broom in person. I've never seen it in a store in person. It blows my mind. So there are a couple of features here that they're just genius. The main thing comes with the dustpan. It stands up on its own, so you don't have to be kneeling over holding a tiny dustpan with a giant broom trying to sweep everything in there. There's a silicone lip on it, so you won't have to keep moving the dustpan back to try and sweep all of the tiny little crumbs or tiny little pieces. And if you are like me and your house is full of animals who shed like nobody's business, it has a comb on the top so that you can get all of that hair that sticks to the bottom of the broom and it lands into the dustbin. Truly, this is one of those products that it's so smart. You will start looking at the brooms at like Walmart and the grocery store and be like, why does nobody sell this one? Another product that truly is one of those ones that I got for one reason and end up using for so many different other things is a car vacuum. There are lots of different car vacuums out there. This one in particular from Fantic is my favorite because it is so small. It weighs just over a pound. The suction on this rivals my Shark $300 vacuum. And it's so small that it is absolutely perfect for your car, of course, but I really end up using it all over the house a lot more. My sliding door, I can fit this right in the tracks, so I can clean the tracks really easily with that. I use it for those little corners where vacuums can't reach but seem to get all of the pet hair. I use it to clean my oven, all the hair that ends up on my desk because Kiki likes to sleep up here, all of the little food crumbs because her food bowl is over here. Just so many different uses. It has a USB-C charger, so I'm not having that problem I was talking about earlier with all of the different plugs. Hate that. Why can't we all just have universal USB-C plugs? Why? This has been just one of those ones that so many different uses. So many. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the O-Cedar mop, the spin mop where you put it into this little spin thing that you hit with your foot, spins all the excess water out so that you're not just dousing your floors in too much water that takes 300 years to dry and then you're left with footprints all over because nobody listens when you say you're washing the floor. The rinse clean is that but elevated. I really hate having dirty floors. I have a thing with my feet being dirty, a sensory issue. One thing that always kind of just irked me was the fact that when you mop your floors, you're just dipping the mop into progressively dirtier water over and over. The Rinse Clean fixes that problem. It separates the dirty water from the clean water. You have a separate section that you fill with clean water, and that way your mop is always getting clean water. You're going to end up with cleaner floors because you are not just using super gross water to constantly clean. I would love to know in the comments what products you have that make your life easier so I can check them out and keep making these videos for you. And by the way, if you are loving this RGB Wonderland that I've created, I recommend watching this video because it'll show you exactly what I used and how I did it.